Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Friday nights for the final round of the TSRC Tin Top Series from Road America. I'm James Barber, going to be joined in the booth by Nico Hillebrand here this evening. We've got 10 minutes of qualifying, solo qualifying coming up shortly, then a 40-minute race after that one. Let's have a look at the championship standings. Starting off with the TCRs, it's Bastien Fuge in first place with Nick Clibbins in second, Kieran Sharp in third. Then we've got Paul Smith fourth, Tom Davidson, Will Bradford and Gurgley Consabo fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. Then Bart Raven, Mav Gardner and Stephen Hudda. Grant Miller, Ryan Ware, Joshua Cherrington, Ronnie Richter, Liam Giles, Tumas Kana, Matt Smith and Thomas Martin rounding out the top 18. And then behind that, we've got Johnny Wu and Joe Thomas. Then Paddy Faulkner, David Barnes has not scored points as of yet. Let's go over to the P Cup. And it is Thomas Bieber, after his win last time out at Mospel, on top of the standings. He's got a commanding lead at this moment in time. Ryan Walker in second, and Andrew Pike and Christian Rizicka in second, third and fourth. Alex Cohen in fifth, Matt Cheverton, Matt Acton, Martin Blankestana, Jamie Nuttall, Scott Warner, Taylor Lane, Fleming Yankson, Jake Pitt, Toby Prosser, Hayden Miller, Louis Heskev, Nick Russell and Bobby Moss round out the top 18. And then on behind that, we've got Quinton Van Vingarden, Gwillem Hamling, Wiardi Rombouts, Gabriel Yilmaz is the last of the point scorers, and then the others on the bottom have not scored points as of yet. As I say, just going into qualifying. Qualifying is up and running. We're 2 minutes in at this moment in time here, but let's bring Nico into the booth. You can see it's raining, and it looks like it might continue to rain all the way through. Lightly wet on the race circuit at this moment, so we'll see whether or not it changes. But Nico, we're at Road America, we're raining, we got multi-class. Surely nothing's going to go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. We're chilling in our mansion in Wisconsin.
Really?
Just quickly stealing that bar from...
Are we?
Just stealing that bar there from... very nicely done rap battle. But somehow, rhyming Wisconsin with mansion, but that's always an art. Just like driving in the rain it is. As you said, could be quite interesting. None of the cars here have driving aids, as we can see there, with Miller making a bit of an excursion at Canada Corner, and certainly struggling with the wet conditions.
Yeah, I think rain, we call it the great equalizer, partly due to the fact that generally it is. And if you haven't driven it consistently, I do not recommend jumping into a round with rain, to be honest, because, well, that happens, as it has to Grant Miller there as well. Times are going to start coming in thick and fast, I'm sure, very shortly. Lap times will be extended, Nico, due to the rain. It's not easy, Road America, anyway, but then we're going to bring multi-class onto it, and then we're going to bring rain onto it. It's very tough indeed.
Yeah, indeed, and especially with these cars. They have a bit of downforce, of course, but they're still mainly dependent on the mechanical grip, and in the rain it's a lot more difficult to find some of that. With Grant Miller, I think just now it could actually have been, because he was so slow around the course and actually had so much trouble staying on the track, he might have mistakenly taken dry tires onto the circuit while
he has
switching sessions or something. So yeah, it's always rough with that. You just have to lose the time then, and then hopefully get out for another clean run. Jensen, in the meantime, you can see the car's decently planted, and just making his way through the kettle bottoms down to Canada Corner once again, and then now through the rest of the lap through turn 13 and 14 back onto the front straight.
I think this is going to be a very, very interesting one, guys, as well. I think if you haven't seen this before, hold on to your hats, because it's going to get very, very spicy. There's going to be multi-class, there's going to be P-Cup TCRs, there's going to be rain, there's going to be everything. Nuttall goes on to pole at the moment. Let's get the times in first. You can see at the moment, almost out at 2:23, 2:24. Fleming Yankson on the 2:27. P-Cups only have set a time. Ryan Ware not got a time in the TCRs. And Will Bradford, Gurgley Consabo has not got a time either. I think this could be tough, Nico. I think I wouldn't be surprised if there was more people without times here this evening than there was with people with times.
Could certainly be the case. I mean, with rain, as you said, it's the great equalizer. It's the great equalizer for cars, but not for drivers in the end. The adaptability of a driver to set conditions on the road, that's really what sets people apart here. And I'm honestly going to say, despite it all, we're seeing the standings in the P Cup right now. Matt Acton is right in front of Hamling. They're only 3,000ths of a second apart. So despite it all, they're on fixed setup, they're in the same car. But obviously these very challenging conditions, nevertheless, the field is remaining close together.
Yeah. I do agree, and you can see even down final peak up 232. Gabriel Yilmaz in the TCRs, it's 240.116, 240.132. Tom Davidson there. Ryan Ware goes over the line. Kieran Sharp out on the 249. It's barely just a second out. Then we go into 241s, 244s, and 244.43. That's a massive gap for the likes of Matt Smith and Ronnie Richter there. If they're going to struggle in qualifying, getting times in, imagine how far they're going to be out on the race.
Yeah, that's obviously always a difficult thing. I'd argue, though, that with qualifying in the rain, it could also be, how would you say, it couldn't be as representative as the race will be. Simply because driving by yourself in the rain, that's all fair and good. You're showing some car control, you're getting to know the car and the circuit, getting to know the conditions. But as soon as you're in a pack of cars, especially with these guys that have these very thick tires, especially the Porsche Cup car, throws up a lot of spray, visibility is very impaired, and then imagine an entire bulk of that, that's gonna be difficult.
Nuttall's just pulled out at 222 and is 1.1 seconds ahead of Blankenstein up. Just broken the 8 tenths with Jack Southfield, Thomas Piebert as well, but Jamie Nuttall absolutely flying at this moment in time. Gergely Consabo's got the best time in the TCRs, 239.653. Then we go into the 240s. That's a 6-tenth gap between Gonzalo and Davidson as well. So that's going to be a massive one down at into the TCRs. I think overall this could be very, very interesting indeed, and I just want to jump on board with Gergely Consabo and see how he's getting on. You can see since they brought rain into TCRs, I believe it was last season, I think it was, it's made it very, very interesting. I think that's one of the things that we've got with the TCRs now. Yes, everybody knows how I feel. They need an update. They need an improvement. We need the new cars. Where they come from, I don't care. Whether they're from the American TCR series, the Brazilian TCR series, the BTCC, I don't care. They need an update. It's as simple as that. We've had these cars for ages. We could do without the 20th GT3 of the season. But since the rain has come out, I don't know if to a degree the fun has been popped out of them, Nico. You can't drive them as hard. You can't side by side. You can't bump like you can in TCRs. And I do wonder if the TCRs maybe shouldn't have been one of them series that they touched with rain.
Well, in the end, every single race car has to touch rain at some point, except for NASCARs on an oval for obvious reasons. But I'd still say, the TCR is probably the more difficult car to get a full grip on, honestly speaking. I know this is going to be a hot take because, the Porsche Cup car is incredibly difficult to drive already in the dry, at speed. But I still think that the TCR could be a bit more difficult to drive in the wet because you have 350 horsepower, 340, 350, depending on the BOP, of course, with over 400 Newton meters of torque. You have quite a short wheelbase on a couple of those cars, barely 1,300 kilos or just under it, and obviously turbo engines and front wheel drive. So even though you have a great limited slip differential for a race car there, it's an incredibly difficult car to put that power on the road.
Yeah, agreed. Right, qualifying is over. It is Jamie Nuttall out in front of the 2:22.597. Thomas Peebar just well, you can see just over 1.5 tenths back in second place. Then Taylor Lane in third, Haylen Miller, Jack Southfield, Martin Blankenstyler, Gwillem Hamlin, Louis Heskev, Scott Warner, Matt Acton, Fleming Jensen and Christian Ruzicka rounding out the top 12. Bobby Moss, Andrew Pint, Nick Russell, Christian Capringer in 16th. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Matt Cheverton, Gabriel Yilmaz, Alex Cohen, Ryan Walker, Quinton Van Vingarden, Jake Pitt and Toby Prosser rounding out the 23 P-Cups. Then we go into the TCRs. Gergely Kansabo takes the pole with Boston Fuchs in 25th. Tom Davidson, Nick Clemens, Kieran Sharp, Ryan Ware and Will Bradford round out the top 30. Then we got Joshua Cherrington, Johnny Wu, Ronnie Richter, Matt Smith, Mav Gardner and Joe Thomas rounding out the final end with Grant Miller at the back. 23 P-Cups, 13 TCRs, 37 cars on circuit. That is 23 fast machines that want to come barreling through the TCRs in the rain. How difficult is that going to be?
Well, it depends on how difficult they make it in the end. But, you know, it's always an art almost in multi-class racing, obviously, to, you know, not just find the gap, also go for it, and that both drivers have the perfect awareness and, you know, make it stick. You know, the faster cars obviously has the responsibility to make the pass safely, but the slower class also has to help facilitate it. So in the rain, it's another bit of difficulty because they have, you know, these changing conditions. There's this, you know, slight situation. You touch the throttle a little bit too much. On the Porsche, you get oversteer. You can lose traction mid-corner in very unexpected places. Or in the TCR, you get snap understeer pretty much because the front tires slip. And yeah, if there's a Porsche on your outside, then good night, Irene.
Yes. I feel all passing overtakes from the P-Cups really need to be done on possibly the inside. Personally, I would wait till turn 5 on the run down the Marine Sweep. That's where I would wait and down the start-finish straight. Now, obviously, in the middle section between that, you've got the run down through Canada Corner. In the kink, if you are quicker and you've got time, go for it, you know. But I think this could be one of them tracks where we sit back and think it's going to be the last man standing. It's going to be a battle of survival for some of these P-Cups.
Absolutely. I'd 100% agree with you there. And I think, you know, this is one of the beauties, though, of Road America, where you can make the move, but you have to think twice whether you should, you know?
Yeah.
And this is one of these original circuits, which, you know, quite literally, since its inception, so quick history lesson, at Road America, they basically race here since 1950, but the permanent layout that we're on right now first opened in 1955. Before that, they were on a really crazy road layout. And the layout itself here, other than the peripherals, so, you know, they replaced bushes with walls and, you know, other crazy stuff like that, you know, those crazy kids with their safety. Other than that, nothing changed about this track.
No.
And that just proves, you know, it's always been a fantastic racing circuit, no matter the condition.
Yeah. I think it's one of the few circuits that have gone through the very little change over its period of time. And I think that's the thing. I think a lot of these racetracks that we have been on, you know, there's certain ones, Interlagos being one of them, has changed massively, and other circuits have changed as well. Silverstone's got so many layouts and things like that, and I just think that this is a traditional circuit that maybe is at the point where it doesn't feel like it has to change, and that's the beauty of this circuit. You know, since 1950, generally, there was one opening part, and then in 51, 52, it changed again. 55, it's been the same. 55 to 65, right the way through to now. It's still the same circuit. And I think it's just one of them that holds the test of time.
Exactly the same as Mosport, where we were last week. You know, it's the exact same case. They just changed the peripherals. Added a bit of runoff, added a bit of curb, you know, added some barriers for safety, added some catch fencing. Other than that, the circuit itself, it's still the exact same, and that's the beauty of North American racing circuits.
I do fully agree. We are on the pace lap, guys. We haven't missed anything. The timer will the timer will reset, I should say, to 40 minutes to go, and then we'll be up and running once more. So hold on to your hats, grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, because this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. P-Cup, TCRs, multi-class, Road America in a rain. Wow. That just sounds like ingredients for a cake that you're going to put together and see what comes out. Well, we have decided to do that here. They're going to put all of these ingredients together, and they're going to see what happens. So, hold on, ladies. Hold on, gentlemen. Get ready to go, because the pace car is going to be in now. Jamie Nuttall's going to be on pole. He's going to hold them. And hold him, and hold him, and hold him. He's still holding. I would expect him to hold him right the way up until the line, to be blatantly honest. On board we go now. Lights are on. Jamie Nuttall gets this underway, and ladies and gentlemen, we are green, green, green. We are 3 wide already. This is only going to be disastrous going down into 1. There's a push as well from the guy in 4th place. They're still running 3 wide. They're still going 3 wide. Somebody's sliding backwards already. And they're still 3 wide. They've made it through 3 wide round turn 1. Now they're sliding. Now they're all coming back on. It's still 3 wide going into turn 2. And it's all getting a little bit chaotic in the TCRs. Gurgley Katsabo got the run down into turn 1 at this moment in time, leading the pack. But I can tell you one thing, that peak up is still going, and it's still chaotic.
Absolutely, and despite the spin we saw right behind the lead group, everyone's still underway. Very good to see. And they're swerving left and right. I think that's Nuttall trying to go past Southfield on the outside, but loses more space there. Now Miller comes down the inside. Absolute scenes there. So Nuttall, pretty much that's exactly what I was afraid of. He was absolutely stunning in qualifying. But one bad start, and you can quickly lose some time, and that's Tom Lane going down.
Yeah, Hayden Miller was in there as well. Taylor Lane on that one as well. I'm sure he'd be well happy about calling him Tom Lane from another series that we do. As these P-Cups heading around turn 7, turn 8, in through the carousel now. Still fighting out. Gurgley Katsabo is still leading in the TCRs. Then Boston Fuge, Nick Clibbons and Tom Davidson in behind that. Kieran Sharp sitting in 5th place in class at the moment. Taylor Lane's been off. Louis Hesketh, there's just been loads, to be blatantly honest. Loads has gone on here as well. We try to show you every off track. We'll be here for the rest of the broadcast, just showing you that. But Jamie Nuttall not breaking away from Hayden Miller. I don't like this. I really do not like this close where Hayden Miller is right in behind Jamie Nuttall, currently in the rain as well. Spray in your face, Nico, and you've got to try and hit a breaking point.
And especially at a high-speed section, like through the Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner. Then over the crest here through turn 13. There used to be a bridge here, but they took it away for safety reasons. You know, even without the bridge, it's still an incredibly fast corner, and it's crazy how close these guys are together. Nuttall is able to get a bit of a gap now, but that's a long, long straightaway now up the hill and past start-finish for the first time to start lap 2. And my goodness, that is, you know, the gap is closing in again. You can see how it's not too bad right now because he's above the main spray, but you can see how quickly he just gets into the main angle where the spray goes over his front bumper and right on to the windscreen. And the wiper is able to keep up for now, but yeah, that can quickly change.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see as he's going to get that little bit further back, it goes and smacks him clean in the face. Unfortunately for Hayden Miller, he's now just got to hope that where Nuttall is going is the right direction. I do wonder sometimes you play a little bit of mind games in the rain when people can't behind you, can't see, you know, just randomly pull right and see if they follow you, which, you know, for me would be quite amusing, but probably not for the guy behind, who might be a little bit upset that I probably put him on the grass. But that's one of the fears there as well. Bobby Moss has just gone shooting off into the underworld. There, unfortunately for Bobby, missed turn 5 and just got it all a little bit wrong. Down in the TCRs, Consabo still leads, but it's in here with Davidson and Clibbons at the moment. Seem to be battling well, seem to be doing well. Spray doesn't look quite as drastic in the TCRs as it does in the P-Cup.
Yeah, they have slightly narrower tires, but also for this battle, we have to look at 4 certain drivers here. And that is Bastian Vuys, Clibbons, Davison, and Sharp, because those 4 are all pretty much in the running for the championship here. Sharp missed the first round, won the second round. Then Davidson won the first round, missed the second round. Clibbons got third in both rounds. And also the fastest lap in round 2, I think. And Bastian Vuys got fastest lap in the first race and second on both times. So it's now all coming down to the strike result, and these guys are obviously all fighting to see who gets the furthest ahead, who can, profit from this situation the most. And ahead of them all, just someone who none of them won there, Gary Consabo, who is in 7th place right now in the standings, with a 9th and 7th place, who would absolutely rocket up the standings right now.
Mm-hmm. Aye, he would. Gergelis and Consabo 30 for the win would take him up to 56, of course. Shooting straight up here. You can see on board still fighting it out with Tom Davidson. They're still battling, coming down into Canada corner. The right-hander hard on the brakes he goes. Well, I'll say about as hard as he's willing to try, to be blatantly honest, Nico. But I'll tell you one thing. Would you pick the Elantra over the Veloster and the Honda due to the weight situation in the rain?
I mean, honestly, I'd probably pick the Veloster. First of all, because I'm a Veloster boy. And second of all, because I think overall it pretty much has the lowest center of gravity. It's the lowest car to the ground in the end. And ergo, it just generally has a very nice behavior with relatively reduced body roll in general. Because the less weight you have upwards, the less it can lean into the corners. So a bit more direct handling. Obviously, these all have anti-roll bars and all that stuff, but it's still a very compact base, a very fun little thing to race in. And I mean, the Elantra is a good thing for stability, same as the Audi. As we see Clibbons getting right on the rear end of Vuys in that Veloster there. But my top pick would still either be with the Veloster or with the Civic.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Overall, agility beats stability for me, because stability, if you lose the stability, you don't have anything, then you just have understeer. If you have agility, you can still, even if it's a little bit more wily on the brakes or on the throttle, you can still try to use that agility to get yourself out of that pickle.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just think I would want the car to be, especially in the rain, a little bit more stable. I think for me, I'd want it weighted. I wouldn't want it being loose as such, and I know a lot of drivers like loose back ends. Camprega here and Guillaume Hamlin are fighting out in the P-Cup. There's still battles in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, Bieber, Nuttall and Miller. But this looked like it was getting a little bit spicy. Guillaume Hamlin there, Nick Russell a little bit further up the road. There is Nick. Hamlin, Caprega, Cohen, Quinton Van Vingard and Jake Pitt and Ryan Walker's trying to close in, who's got Bobby Moss, who we saw earlier on taking a little bit of a diver. There was a big dive from Alex Cohen over Caprega, and he has made it through. He has cut straight across the nose, fills Caprega with a load of spray in his face, and well, these conditions don't seem to be getting any better, but I think at the moment they're not getting any worse.
Yeah, with the status quo, I think it's relatively good for now, because the drivers can just get used to it. And I think that was a bump from behind, I think.
He had nobody behind him.
Well, someone just slid off into the gravel behind there, and there was a bit of a... Yeah, see?
Oh, okay. I may have to give you that one.
Yeah, the replay is not quite cooperating with us right now, but we'll get a bit of footage for that in a moment, I'm sure. But I saw a bit of a bump there and a little bit of a...
Hold on, I'll see what we can do. Oh, there we go.
There we are.
Coming down into turn 1. Oh, Wingarden. Bang! Yeah. Where was he going? It was coming in like a rocket. I don't even think it was Wingarden behind him, though, was it? It wasn't.
I think it was the car further, one step further behind. Just, completely missing the braking point, locking up for a moment, trying to just steer away. Probably aiming for that gap, but you just aim a bit too far.
Taylor Lane.
And,
2 seconds, sorry, Luca. Taylor Lane is facing in the opposite direction, and I'm just trying to. Hayden Miller on the grass, then he makes contact with him, unfortunately, there. So, big hit from them guys. Taylor Lane now drops all the way down into 13th behind Nick Russell, joining that group that we were focusing on. Had Lane, Hamlin, Leskev, Walker all in there. Down in the TCR's Consabo, still leading, but he's got a bigger pack now. Weston Fuge, Nick Clemens, Tom Davidson, Kieran Sharp, Ryan Ware, Joshua Cherrington, all in here as well. So this is the top 7 of the TCRs, Nico. This could get a little bit fruity.
Oh, not just fruity. It could get absolutely fruit salad. This is, it's completely insane with how close these guys are still together. Basically, well, pretty much as you said, a 7-way battle for the lead if they keep close like that. And the nice thing right now is Gergely Consabo holds most of the cards here and adds a little bit of extra spice there to the battle, because he's the only guy that really doesn't have anything to lose. He has everything to gain in this battle. And Boyce gets very skittish now behind him. Clemens gets very skittish now. And Davidson and Sharp, of course, very eager, after playing the drop score game of, completely missing around. Ooh, yeah, they're going to be very, very keen to catch up.
Oh, that was very, very heavy from Bastian Fuge there. Ooh, look at this. Literally nose to tail. One mistake and we're game over. It is a termination situation here for these guys, and he needs to be a little bit careful. Let's have a look back from Boston's car. There is Clemens closing in the iRacing Esports machine as they come running over the line down into turn 1. You can see them heading down at a rapid rate of knots, mind you, as well. TCR's not hanging around. What's the weather? Still lightly wet. 10% on the rain situation, but clearly it is that one as well. So still nicely battling here. Oh, Gergely Consabo. Do you know what? He is defending like a prize fighter going for a championship who's on the ropes, and he's not even really in the championship. So fair play to him.
The thing is, he can still jump up quite a few positions, because right now he's in 7th. He could easily jump up to, for example, 3rd, 2nd place, if everyone else around him just does a mistake. Now, though, around the outside, there comes the Veloster. Turns in quite tightly, leaves barely enough space. I think there might be a little bit of netcode contact there that just, moved him a bit further outside, or he tried to take a bit more swing with him. But now, strolls away again. Gergely Consabo once again places the Elantra perfectly. Dave's ahead, and Tom Davidson's now all over the back of Clemens, and Clemens can basically do his makeup in Fuise's mirror. My goodness.
And it's all because Gergely Consabo is just putting his car where he needs to place it and just saying, not happening. Not going on whatsoever. Why that is going on? Southfield and Thomas Bieber are battling out in the peak up on the run down Moraine sweep down into turns number 5. We got lead battles in both classes. You're going to have to bear with us. We're going to have to focus on one and flick to the other. But Southfield at the moment, I think Bieber's going to get him. Has he got in too deep though? Is Southfield going to be able to get the cut back? No. Nuttall's closing in as well. Bieber, great move there. Textbook move in the peak up. Nuttall nearly able to come back underneath him. He is going to come back underneath him as well. Through turn 6, through the right-hander at turn 7. Southfield says no, takes the place back.
Constant battle of traction. Did you see that? Out of turn 5, both of them just power sliding, struggling to get the car straight. That's just beautiful to see. These cars are being pushed absolutely to their limit, and Southfield very well placing the car in the end, managing to get a little bit better on the right foot game. And now Jamie Nuttall is right behind them as well. So we have a three-way, almost, well, four-way fight as well for the lead here. Because Hayden Miller's not that far behind either.
Another
big one.
Starfield having a big Peeman going sideways.
That's a bit too big.
Oh, he's in the wall. Miller's in the wall. He's in Miller. They're coming back on. Blankenstein is staying. Steady. 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 They're recovering. They're recovering. Oh, Thomas Pieber. Do you know, it looks so good going around that corner.
It looked like a scene from Initial D, that much sideways, and then unfortunately the rear just didn't grip. Well, the front or the rear just didn't grip up, and
look at that.
Nothing he could have done there.
Round he goes. Miller gets tagged. He tries to avoid him, but you're so high speed in the rain. One tap. Man, you might as well play Bambi on ice, because that is exactly what you're going to get, unfortunately. Hayden Miller goes into pit lane. Thomas Pieber goes into pit lane. That's really no surprise. What I am worried about, though, at the moment, Nico, is what has that done to Pieber's hopes in the Peak Up? He's got Ryan Walker, 18 points. Sorry, trying to do maths behind him. Walker at the moment, though, is all the way down in 13th. Going to pass Pieber. The scoring, obviously, as we know, goes from 30 downwards. So this is all going to come down to drop weeks, isn't it, in the Peak Up?
Yeah, I think for now he's still okay.
Oh, you say that so apprehensively.
No, well, I think for now he's okay, because at the moment the points are that Thomas Pieber in first place with 55 points, and Ryan Walker is at 37 points. Obviously, he has an 8th place as his drop score, and a 2nd place as a second one, but Walker would have to score quite a bit more right now to get into the danger zone, basically, for Pieber. He'd basically have to get, well, first place and the fastest lap, essentially, and to pretty much bring it even, or I think win it by a slight margin. But Pieber, as it stands right now, he would have his drop score now, so he'd stay at 55.
So it depends on where Ryan Walker can go.
The big question is as well, what can Alex Cayon do? Because he won the first round very, very nicely with the fastest lap as well. Missed round 2, so that's a 0-point drop score. But right now, not looking too hot in the race, and also followed Pieber right into the pit lane. Yeah,
Cohen's there. It's a long way down in there at the moment. I think the man that's got really the opportunity of catching Pieber is Walker. Round 1 will be his drop score at the moment. He obviously dropped 8th. Well, this might actually be his drop score as well, because he's currently down in 10th. So we'll see. This might end up staying where we are, because, as you say, this is going to be Pieber's drop score at the moment. So, yeah, all to play for. And I do love this. Gurgly Gonzalo has managed to split some of the TCRs. He's still in first place. There is a Scott Warner going into the Shadow Realm. Kieran Sharp can't make it through, and Gurgly Gonzalo still there, holding leading everybody. I'm not going to say he's holding everybody up. He's done a great job.
He's basically pulling a very, very wonderful recreation of, Vitaly Petrov in 2010.
He's kind of there. He reminds me of How to Spoil a Party.
He's doing his best. He's doing his race, and he's completely and absolutely entitled to. And I'm absolutely here for it, because I just love seeing wildcards just completely blowing everything of the calculations that we have for like a potential championship battle out of the water. Because, well, I mean, I'm getting along well in the wet. Why would I slow down for these guys?
Exactly. I agree. I think for Gurgly Gonzalo, dude, he's got the pace, he's got the ability, he's got everything he needs. Crack on. That's what I say. Go Gurgly there as well. So fair play to him. I would just let. It's not, the thing is though as well, when we look at this and we big him up, it's not his place to overtake, is it? It's not his job to let them go through. It's the likes of Clibbons, Davidson, Boston Fuge, Kieran Sharp. It's all on them to get past Gurgly, and if they can't do it, well, tough, pretty much. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the end, if they want to be good enough to win the championship, they got to be good enough to pass him. That's all it is, really. And I mean, But Sabo obviously with a very, very good run in this race so far, you know, very consistent. You can see that he's leaving some in the reserve, you know, with not using all of the track, but that's not a bad strategy because you can always basically go, okay, I can keep it stable on the road like this. So why would I push 1% over where I can just lose the car? That's the best he can do right now. And staying off the curbs as well in the wet, that's a very wise thing to do because you never know just how really damn slippery these curbs can get. And I think one thing that's helping him right now absolutely is his helmet, because that is that of Michael Schumacher, the Regenmeister himself.
Yeah, put it all on the helmet. Nothing to do with his great driving whatsoever.
No. It's
nothing.
the spirit of Michael helping him.
It's the German fighting spirit behind him. That's what we got going on. We haven't got Gurgley driving a great race. It's Michael in the car. And Gurgley's just living off the ghost. Oh, don't do that.
Oh, no.
No.
White line that's actually still worked out.
Oh, Gurgley there nearly called us all liars on the run down to turn 5. Clemens is alongside us at this moment in time. Audi on the left, Hyundai Elantra on the left now. As they swap places, going down into turn 5, there's going to be a little bit of contact, little bit of argy-bargy. Sabo's got to send him in deep. He did send him in deep. He's going to force Clemens out into the wide line. He gave him room, but you gave too much, Gurgley. You gave too much, son. Fight it back on the inside. Open it up a little bit. He gave him so much room coming out 5, Nico. He scrubbed his own speed off.
Yeah, really unlucky there. I think he got a bit alarmed by the slight hit under braking there. Wasn't quite sure whether it was maybe his fault or not, so wanted to leave more space. So really, really unlucky. Now, the one thing that can't happen to him is, you know, he can't let Davidson try and throw him off. He has to focus on the front, has to focus on attack now. He left a little bit more in the gas earlier.
Sideways. He's leaving the all on the racetrack.
Yeah, now he's attacking, I'd say. Just, you know, gotta make sure that he gets it properly there. You can see a couple of puddles forming as well, but keeping it very, very, well, tidy still. And there comes one of the Porsches. My goodness, the speed difference, even in the rain, is absolutely mind-blowing.
The Porsche's got through. He got through all of them, so fair play. Gonzalo on the inside. Louis Heskev is... Oh, no! Clemens was off! Gurgley!
Clemens off. Davidson turns in on the outside and spins Gonzalo around. No!
Clemens missed it as well. Oh, where did Gurgley... Oh, what you doing? Come on, behave yourself. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, do you know what though? Watch how close this was to Clemens going there. Whoa!
Yeah.
But Clemens got off.
That was a hair's width.
Yeah, he just missed this. Watch this from the back here. You'll see Gurgley Gonzalo shoot across the camera. That was about as close as it could have possibly got. We got the P-Cups in the pits. Consabo's decided now to go in. Clemens is in, Gardner's in, Bradford's is in. I think that's the right thing to do, I think, at this moment in time, Nico, because obviously they've all been off the side of the circuit. They've all had moments. That's going to leave Bostan Fuge out in front with Tom Davidson in second. Kieran Sharp has made his way up into third. In the P-Cup, Nick Russell is fighting it out. He's got Hayden Miller tucked in behind him. Southfield, Rosica Lane and Cheverton all in pit lane as well. And we've got 18 minutes to go.
Oh, that just threw, well, a wrench in everything again.
It did, didn't it?
Just when you
killed
think,
it all.
just when you think, you know, it's settled down a little bit. We're going to have a battle like this and it's just going to keep going. And no, by the way, it's going to go completely different once again.
Yeah.
As we have Nick Russell getting very intimate with, Hayden Miller getting very intimate with Nick Russell's rear end. And that's another car spinning off that Piba again.
It is. Thomas Piba off
just
the side. He's just... Is that just, yeah.
Just all gone downhill. Yeah, I think that's, you know, just really a mental thing now. You know, you're out of it for a moment because you had a big off. you could keep going, and you obviously still want to push and keep going and keep fighting. But there's this bit of uncertainty. What if Kaon basically gets his second wind now? And that's not me. That was not me cursing him. He spun before I mentioned his name.
Did he? Did he really? I don't know. This is literally at the moment you said, "Oh my God, where are you going?" Oh, dude, you can't even blame the man who spun you.
Yeah.
You were coming in like an absolute rocket there. Josh Cheriton just been overtaken by Vingard. Difference. That is actually for position on the racetrack, but not for Klaus' position, if you get what I mean. Pit stops on the left-hand side. You can see in the TCRs at the moment. Fuchs, Davidson, Sharp, Ware and Cherrington have not pitted. The likes of Clemens, Consabo, Bradford, Gardner, Wu, Smith have. It'll be interesting to see how far Gurley goes. He's gone past the Porsche that looks like he's at a moment. There's been so many people gone round here. I can't even show you them all because it's just crazy. Nuttall, Blankenstyler and Acton in pit lane. Fuchs, Davidson, Sharp, Ware and Cherrington in pit lane as well. So I don't think Consabo's going to get there. I believe Nick Russell has just been off track again, Nico. He's getting a little bit crazy towards the end of the race.
And we can see also Clibbins, who was the first guy to go off at Canada Corner before all the chaos behind unfolded. He's basically just getting, not quite up. But yeah, there we are. There's the guys coming out of the pit lane. How far are they going to drop down? Oh, Bruce, Sharp and Davidson just completely jumped him.
Yeah.
And that is, quite honestly, that is the worst news overall for Bruce because he has to try and win this. That is his only shot, pretty much.
Well, up in the Porsches, up in the P-Cups, is Nuttall in front of Southfield. So Southfield up 3. Nuttall where he is on the grid. Obviously, he qualified in pole as well. Straight fight between two of the fastest drivers on the racetrack. Combined IR of 11.1k, average of 5.5. Yeah, this could get spicy.
I'd absolutely agree. I mean, both of them we have seen in the rain before, in the Sports Car Series at Monza with everyone gambling and, not all of it working out, but it was very, very thrilling race. And I think we have a similar situation here, except that people aren't on blades like back then. But nevertheless, Southfield is all over the back of Nuttall, and as much as Jamie Nuttall is a fantastic driver and really, really fast as well in the rain, as he's shown already in qualifying, Southfield isn't to be underestimated, and he's definitely one of these guys that is challenging for the title here, because of course, he's. Hold on, where is he in the standings? I lost sight of him. I don't, sorry, he was, he's one of the guys that's a wild card, actually, sorry. My goodness, I'm making mistakes now. I'll blame it also on the rain. Traction loss in my brain.
Yeah. As these guys are heading down into turn 1, they're going to be side by side. Nuttall's on the right, Southfield's on the left as you're looking at him. Nuttall's going to try the outside line. Is he going to get round that turn 1? Round the outside he is. You can see, I'm not going to really say a dry line, Nico, but a line where they're starting to disperse the water is kind of giving them something to aim for.
Yeah, that's that's the nice thing overall. Like, you can try 2 different approaches here. Pretty much, try and keep the tires cooler, but torture them a little bit more with a bit harder inputs, obviously. I mean, one of the biggest strategies that you can do to keep your car from oversteering pretty much at corner entry in the rain is basically turn in a little bit too much and then open the steering again to just try and give it a little bit initial understeer.
No, he has gone round.
Oh, and that's what I was actually waiting for him, I think. Yeah, that's a nice bit of sportsmanship. Well done, gentlemen.
But they have got 16 seconds over Hayden Miller, but yeah, Nuttall there.
But still,
He didn't have to. No, I'll
you
give you
gotta
that.
praise a good deed where it's seen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love a good little sportsmanship situation, but again, he didn't have to if he didn't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it's always nice to see. Nevertheless, I think just a little bit. I think that's one of these things. In the rain, you're trying to stick with your line. Southfield. With his line going a little bit off the track and a little bit extra with the grass. I don't think he wants that much tire cooling though. But on the exit of the corner, when you're alongside, it just gets a little bit too tight. The guy that's trying to overtake you is on your inside is obviously also trying to carry a bit momentum, trying to turn as little as possible so they don't start randomly understeering. And I think those lines slightly crossing each other. That's both incidents that we've seen, both with Consavo and with Southfield just now. It's just a bit of a miscommunication, and it's just unfortunate in the end there. And all the puddles for Jack Southfield.
Yeah. Side by side, Southfield's now in front of Nuttall. I don't know if that looked a little bit more deliberate, should we say. So Nuttall's now going to go at him again. We've got 10 minutes to go. It seems to be we've been at this for quite a while, haven't we?
The longest 30 minutes in human history.
Yeah, don't you think? Or am I missing the point there?
Oh, no, absolutely not. The thing is, with the rain races like this and with, multi-class and with a nicely filled field, you just don't really get, a breather. And that's, I think that's wonderful, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for everybody. As these guys continuing to scrap it out for the lead of the P-Cup. Davidson leading TCRs, Kieran Sharp in second. Nick Russell, Nuttall has gone off into the underworld.
It doesn't take much in these conditions, like no ABS, you just lock up your tires slightly and the car basically goes, okay, cool. Well, I'll brake a couple 100 meters longer now.
Yep. Very, very tough for these guys. Southfield's out in front by 2 seconds. P-Bar is still in fourth. He's had a very eventful evening, but everybody around him has also had an eventful evening. Kieran Sharp is going to have an eventful 9 minutes here because he's got Boston Fidge and Nick Clemens right in behind him.
Yeah, and well, these guys will now have to fight for it in the end, Sharp and Davidson are directly in contention with each other, obviously. Because, these two both missed, one round so far. So for either of them, it'll now be pretty much do or die, because neither of them got the fastest lap in any race. So whichever of them wins the race now will win the championship, pretty much. And Boyce, of course, he would love to get ahead of them as well, try and get that win, get one of his second places as a drop score. With his other point would be a second place with the extra point for the fastest lap. So he would then win the championship, but it's of course a little bit difficult.
And this is why, everybody, we have Nico on the scoring, because
I told you I'd do that Excel sheet.
Yep, there you go. So Nico's full up with the Excel spreadsheet. He's got this all going. He's going to be able to tell us exactly who will win this at the end, won't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, there you
go. Just, there we go. Everything's just working out perfectly.
Does it ever work? The problem is, I find with Excel, it never works how I want it to. I put in multiple formulas, and then all of a sudden it just all goes Pete Tong, and I'm like, give up.
Yeah, one of the formulas failed, and unfortunately the other 4 formulas that were relying on it is now also dead.
That is my continual problem.
Yeah, it's understandable. It happens to everyone at some point.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't be surprised if I change one thing wrongly. The points total for one of the drivers in the end just spells out, "Father, why have you forsaken me?"
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's still going quite nicely. Nick Clemens is caught back up to the lead pack. Unfortunately, Consabo lost out a little bit more. But we still have a four-way fight for the championship on track right now, right here. And that is just beautiful to see. And Nick Clemens now right on the tail of Bastian Voice. Those two guys are, of course, in direct contention to each other as well.
Yeah, I wonder, though. Clemens is only 8 points back. He's going to have a third place drop. So technically, this will be his drop score. This will be Furz's drop score.
But it would stay the same way it is right now.
Yeah, nothing's going to change. I think at the moment, Boston looks like he may have this wrapped up, to be honest.
Between these two, maybe. The difficult question overall is, how will it still develop in the last 5 minutes? Because we saw how easily it can get out of hand, how easily one guy can make a mistake. And just now as well, even with a slightly unruly run through turn 7 there and down the Hurry Downs, he still gained like 2/10 on Sharp again. So you can see how quickly the gaps can open up and close here. And yeah, the things now for Voice basically try and attack as much as possible without making mistakes. Ooh, not like that.
That's not what you meant, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Attack to get away from Clemens, and like that, more like that, basically.
So more like Clemens did, but not what Furz did.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So it's okay for Clemens, but it's not okay for Furz. That's wrong.
Voice has to try to force Clemens into a mistake and just do anything to get away from him, so he can focus on attacking and continuing to close that gap against Sharp.
Not the most easiest thing to do, especially when you got the likes of Nick Clemens in behind you. And we got P-Cups coming through as well. I think that's Bobby Moss further down. It is Bobby Moss waiting here now. This is it for Clemens. He's on the grass again. Tucked in right behind there. You can see in front of us is the back end of Mustang Furies as we're going down into turn 1. Clemens concentrating hard in that machine. Can't see barely anything. And he goes up into 6th gear in this TCR in the Audi into turn number 1. Through it still. Oh. It looks like the conditions have all of a sudden kind of got a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, you could say that. Maybe the rank did increase a little bit, but either way, yeah, Clemens is all over the back. Voice, but both of them actually Sharp, Voice, and Clemens are all gaining on Davidson bit by bit. So I think Davidson might be trying to play it safe right now. Obviously, he has a second gap, so he has a little bit more comfort zone there, and now also with the traffic slotting in between. But yeah, it's a razor's edge ride right now for everyone involved. Yeah, that's gonna be incredibly close indeed. And yeah, I'm just wondering, in the end, like, there's too many thoughts to express here. It's getting quite close with the gaps as well, getting quite close with the closing time, and yeah, difficult to say in the end.
And we'll see how they get on there. You just listen to the cars go round the race circuit. You can see in the TCRs, it's very, very close. Jamie Nuttall and Southfield are very, very close as well in the P-Cup. This is where we're going to focus on for the rest of the lap, just to see if they're going to be able to make it. Southfield's running, I would say, mightily wide, but that's probably an ideal line for these cars at the moment. You see the puddle there on the exit of the carousel, now through the kink, through the right-hander. Coming down into Canada corner, we've got about 1 minute on the clock, and they've got about 3 corners left, Nico. Wonder how this one's going to go.
Yeah, I think they might be fast enough to start another lap. As long, of course, as nothing unpredicted happens, but looks clean enough to me. So getting through, well, up the hill, through the bend of turn 13 again. Jamie Nuttall's looking, mighty close on the back of Jack Southfield, of course, trying to stay away from the puddle and the curb on the inside, and trying to stay away from the outside as well.
We are just about to get one. Just.
Yeah. One last lap with 20 seconds to go.
Barely 20 seconds on the clock. These guys come over the line. There you go. The white flag. Barney waving. Southfield and Nuttall, they've got one more lap to go. TCR's Davidson has got one more lap plus this one, so they've got to finish this one and get one more after for this to continue on. Boston Fury's in behind. He's got Clibbons still in behind that. So Clibbons and these guys in the TCR's got about a lap and a half, but Nuttall and Southfield, well, they have not got long. They got Marine Sweep, 6, 7, 8. Carousel, kink, Canada corner, 14, done. So we'll see how and what goes on here once again. Nah.
The best kind of braking maneuvers are the ones that make you crack your voice upwards 5 octaves,
That's partly due to the fact that we sit here and go, oh my God, he's not stopping.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God, it's too hot.
This could be an absolute train wreck, but I can't look away.
Yeah, it will almost be like a strike in pinball, in 10-pin bowling. As he's gonna on there as well. Through carousel we go. The last run. If Nuttall can stay here, going down into Canada corner, Southfield's running very wide again. Comes across the nose of Nuttall, down into Canada corner. There's a couple of TCRs that are going to spice this up. Nuttall's just got a slide on the exit. We're going to have to see how this one's going to go. TCR, please move, boost, move. I don't think he's going to get there. He's just lost too much time. Starfield looks like he's going to win this one.
Oh, the next TCR could be in the middle of turn 13, though, depending on the speed difference. So he could lose some momentum there. And yes, that's right in the middle. But he plays it well. He plays it well, goes for the gap when it's there. And slide there. But stays on the outside. Jamie Nuttall survives. Jack Southfield brings it home in an absolutely phenomenal drive.
Yeah, Southfield comes over the line. He takes the victory in the final race in the tin top here. And Jack Southfield, Jamie Nuttall, Thomas Pieber grabbed 3rd place in the end. A great drive considering he had so many. Well, he's had a roller coaster. I think that can only be described on that one. Comes over the line. TCRs, Davidson, Sharp, Fury's, Clibbons. And they've got 7, 8, Carousel, Kink, Canada corner, and 14 to go. So the same place as where the P-Cups were. And for Sharp, he needs to stay as close to Davidson as he possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be another very, very close one. I think we now have basically, the confirmation that Pieber he should be the champion for the Porsche Cup cars, but here it's not over until it's over. And we saw how squirrely these cars can get through the kink, and you can see that from Kieran Sharp's car there as well, that Civic is barely holding onto the grip. And down to Canada corner will be another decisive situation. Sharp's gaining, he's gaining even more. Just barely 5/10 separating the two, now less than 5/10. Is he going to be able to try and make a move maybe into the last corner if he keeps closing like this?
Here we go, into Canada corner he goes. It's going to be, if he can get close enough, he might get the run out of 14, and then it's just a straight drag up the hill through 13A, through 13B. There's been a few more people off the side of the circuit. Of course, Wu's finished, Smith's finished. Here we go now. He knows he's got to rely on his tyres working. Is he going to get the run up the hill? That's going to be the question. I don't think he is. I think Davidson, Sharp's not going to go for it. Flash of the lights, the admittance of defeat. And Davidson is going to take that victory in the TCRs. Great job from Tom Davidson. Kieran Sharp, Boston Vu is in third. Then we're going to wait for the middle of Clibbons, who went off the track. Ryan Ware. Gergely Katsabo down in 24th. He might be a little bit grumpy about that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, really bad luck for him in the end. He drove an absolutely fantastic race up until that incident before his pit stop. Of course, just wrong place, wrong time, too much happening at once, takes only a second to be distracted. And yeah, that's unfortunately what can happen to you in that situation.
Will Bradford's going to come over the line in 8th in TCRs. And then when he does, we'll be able to bring you the results. So great job from all of these guys. Great racing from everybody. And wonderful job as these guys wrap it up, coming over the line now. And that's Will Bradford finished here as well. Let's bring you up the race results. Jack Southfield is your winner. Then Jamie Nuttall and Thomas Piebert. Taylor Lane in 4th. Hayden Miller finished in 5th in the end. Then Martin Blankensteiner, Fleming Jensen, Andrew Pike, Gwillem Hamlin, Matt Acton, Matt Cheverton, Ryan Walker, Alex Cohen, Bobby Moss, Christian Camprager, Christian Rizika, Nick Russell and Quinton Van Vingarden rounds out the top 18. Then into the TCRs, Tom Davidson takes the victory ahead of Kieran Sharp. Then Boston Fu is in 21st, Nick Clemens in 22nd, and Ryan Ware, Gergely Katsabo, Joshua Charrington in the 25th, then Will Bradford, Johnny Wu, and Mav Gardner. Behind that is Matt Smith, Grant Miller, Jake Pitt, Ronnie Richter, Louis Heskev, Scott Warner, Joe Thomas, Gabriel Yilmaz, and Toby Prosser is, I believe, the last of the runners. We are going to bring in Hayden Miller, for a chat into the booth. He had a bit of a roller coaster evening himself. Hayden, welcome in. How are you?
Good, yourself?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. How was that out there?
Hectic, like every other race. It was good fun. I was expecting a lot worse from myself performance-wise. I didn't really have the motivation to put much practice in, because peak up in the wet, when you look at it, it's just, it's probably going to be bad. But I mistaken that. That was actually quite fun. I was not expecting the qualifying pace I would have had, but yeah, was a good race overall.
Yeah, it was. How's the tin tops been for you?
They've been good. I've been good in the peak up since I had a shot of it before, and it wasn't really the best car I drove, and then I kind of grew on it and started to do more leagues on it, and yeah, I found myself quite good at it, quite fast. So I was like, why not keep on going with this? And I got excited when I seen that Kieran was putting this up. So yeah, it's good. I like this.
No, fair play to you, mate, as well. Is there anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, my dad for putting in the effort. This was a last minute livery, literally done an hour before the session was put up, and yeah, just shout out for Kieran for hosting all these championships and these races, especially the practice sessions, because they help me a lot. So yeah, shout out to him.
Awesome job. Well, Aidan, thanks so much for joining us there, bud, and well done for today. Great job on your 5th place.
Cheers.
All right, and next up, here's the man, the boss as well, so we've got to be nice to him, unfortunately. He is Mr. Kieran Sharp. Kieran, welcome in.
Hiya.
Hello, mate. How are you?
All good.
That was a nice little race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was it's tough.
Yeah, it definitely was. Rain at Road America. What do we think? Is it a good combo? Bad combo? What do you reckon?
I think it's a pretty good combo. There's a lot of different lines you can take. I think it gives some good opportunities.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I think going forward, it's definitely something that people will look at and think, do you know what? Actually, that kind of works. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like anything in it. You put in rain, it kind of doesn't always work when it needs to. Couple of races, round 2 for you, round 3. How was it out there generally in the tin tops? You happy with the way the series went?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have enjoyed it more than they thought they would have. You know, something slightly different from what you see. You know, not just GT3 stuff or GT4. It's you know, you've got a variety of cars there in the TCRs as well. So yeah, it's for good.
All right, going forward, Kieran, what are we expecting coming out of TSRC?
Well, we want to try and run 2 championships again. We are also working with the Crack guys. I think have become a staple of our grid now, and I think they make up a good portion of the grid now. I think they want to plan some events with us, maybe a bit more out in the ordinary. So yeah, we have some things in mind for next year, and we might have some sign-ups out within a week or 2.
Awesome job, well, Kieran, thanks so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just the usual guys. I think despite this just being a short series, we had a lot of new guys join the grid, and yeah, it's great to see us grow.
Awesome job. Well, Kieran, thanks so much for having us along, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Take care. And the final interview of the evening is in the P-Cup for Taylor Lane, who has joined us. Taylor, welcome in.
Hello, guys.
Hello, man. How was it?
Yeah, it was good fun. Had a bit of a mishap with Hayden, but managed to claw it back to P4. So these things happen. It's really difficult to race around Road America in the wet, especially in the Porsche Cup. So yeah, not too sad about that. It was a good result.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it kind of, you know, delivered what we expected it to deliver. You know, rain at Road America with TCRs and multi-class is always going to be difficult in conjunction. Hayden, I will say, got on the grass in your little incident, mind you, and left the door open. So
yeah, that's why I was there in the first place. I saw he'd gone wide, and I think he just squared because he got like a 4-wheel slide from the grass, and then just squared off the turn and just drove straight back to the racing line.
Yeah,
it's easily done. But
yeah, it definitely is.
These things happen.
Yeah, been here for a couple of races, missed round 1, round 2, and round 3 now. Sum up the couple of races that you have been involved with.
I've been genuinely shocked how much I've enjoyed the racing here. Just signed up. Originally, I was it was put into my team's Discord that Hayden had signed up, and if anyone else wanted to sign up as well, to sign up now. So I thought, why not? Might be good fun. I'm glad I did, because that was 2 rounds of good racing. I'm gutted out to miss round 1, but yeah, no, it was good fun. I look forward to another series like this being put up by yourselves and TSRC.
Awesome job, Kieran. Taylor, thanks so much for joining us. Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
I'd like to give you guys a shout out for broadcasting and the guys that run everything in the background at TSRC. I'd like to give a big shout out to my team as always, Pretend the Nomad. And also specifically 2 of my teammates, Dean and Nick. They're in the Discord that I was sat in. They usually rooted for me in the background. So yeah, shout out to them as well.
Awesome job, mate. Well, thanks so much for joining us there, bud, and well done on your 4th place.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Take care.
And congratulations on your fastest lap.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Have a good one, mate. We'll catch you soon.
You too. Take care.
Bye. Right. Did Louis take this? Was he in this race, Louis Huskev?
Yes.
He was? Where did he finish?
Yeah. 20th in the Porsches.
Oh, I've got him down in 33rd overall, so I'm not quite sure what happened to Louis Eskev. Let's have a chat with him and find out. Louis, welcome in. How are you?
Hi, good, thanks.
How is it?
Been better, but yeah, I'm alright.
You all right?
It's fun, sketchy, everything in between. Oh, hello?
Hello? You there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
fun and sketchy.
Yeah, everything in between that too.
But did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it was great fun. I enjoyed every second of it. Well, most of it.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed your season so far? Or the 3 races that we have done?
Yeah, I enjoyed this whole season. Looking forward to if this will come back or any other seasons.
Yeah, they're looking at doing some in the obviously next year on that one as well. Is the P-Cup a car that you enjoy to drive, Louis? Because not everybody does.
It's one of my favourite cars ever. When I first got iRacing, I was skeptical. Of it because on R Factor 2, which is my old sim, the Porsche Cup was loose as anything. It was as if it didn't have a rear wing. But on this simulator, sorry, I just click with it. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's all right, Louis. You can call it a game. A lot of people do. You know what I mean? Don't worry too much about backlash. Honestly, that's normally my job, to get the backlash from everybody for calling it a game, because, you know, some people say it is. But Louis, thanks so much for joining us. It's been great to have a chat with you. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, the whole admin team in TSRC and both of you commentators for the whole season. Thank you.
No worries, Louis. Thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And hopefully see you on the track soon.
Yeah, hopefully you too.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Well, there you go, Nico. Happy drivers. I think everybody's enjoyed themselves. That's brought the end of this one to an end. Don't forget, guys, if you do want to get yourself involved, you can join TSRC Discord, or they're on the SimGrid as well. So you can get yourself involved in that one. They have got a bit of an M2 mayhem coming up next Sunday the 15th, I believe. We will be live with that one. So if you want to come along and get yourselves involved, you can join the Discord in below. Final word from you, Nico, for the season.
Well, from start to finish, every single race, really, really exciting ordeal. Really nice proof that even really short seasons like this, only 3 rounds, can be action-packed and well entertaining, and, well, still very, very interesting for the championship fight until the last corner. And, yeah. As always, very happy to be here with the Sim Racing Collective, with you, James, of course. And anytime, any day, please more of this.
Awesome, guys. Well, it's been great being here for this season. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Nico Hillebrand. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.